Like your cat with a hairball, here's what's coming up on the Gill Lane Show.
They retweeted it. It went nuts. I got suspended without pay for 2 weeks, I believe.
We're going to fix Flint, Michigan today. Yeah! Doing it, clean water! Clean water!
I'm going to guess this guy doesn't watch Bob Ross. When he beats the brush against the leg of the easel, it's like...
Welcome back to another episode of the Gill Lane Show. My name is Chris Kanya. With me today, and you have Bill Parker and Chris Novellino, a.k.a. Mo. The Super Bowl is set. You got Brock Purdy and the 49ers heading to Vegas to take on Taylor Swift and the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, she's a tough quarterback. I'll tell you that much. Her Swifties are going to attack the line of scrimmage ferociously. Have you seen them online? Holy shit. Don't say anything about a Taylor Swift. I put a tweet up yesterday making a joke about how Taylor Swift is a bandwagon fan, really. And I was scared to hit send. I was afraid.
I saw you put that up, and I unfollowed you and deleted your number from my phone.
Yeah.
And all association with you, because that is insane.
My wife divorced me. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, is everything okay at home?
Yeah, they're no joke. I've as someone who's been attacked by a mob fan base before.
Yeah,
that's not even close to the degree of what Swifties are. It is not fun. You get threats that you thought would never bother you, that make you fear for your life and career and all that stuff. So
yeah,
I'll never touch anything like that ever again.
Yeah, I get it. That's the move to make right there.
It is funny how you think things won't bother you until they actually happen sometimes, and then you're like, holy shit, that really is bothering the shit out of me. Like, that's fucking terrible.
Well, I got DMs that are like, I'm glad your mother's dead. Just that. It just says that. Oh, yeah. Okay, I might as well tell it real quick. But when I was on the radio, this Korean pop group was trying to get a song pushed to be played on a top 40 station. So they had their fans scour Twitter for everybody who's ever been associated with top 40 radio stations ever. And I was one of those people. I used to be on the top 40 station part-time, which I wasn't on anymore, by the way. But so I would get probably 60 to 75 notifications a day of all these crazy accounts saying, please play whatever the song name was by whatever the artist was, right? And eventually, it's just going nuts. My phone, bring, bring, all day. I was doing something. I was probably frustrated. I finally replied to one. I just wrote no. Just wrote no. Oh, big mistake. Big mistake. What they did, they took my account and searched. I'll beep all these out, but searched my Twitter handle, gay, every word that that's cancelable if attached to you, they searched, and of course they found a tweet from like 10 years ago when Twitter was Twitter was basically a group text 10 years ago.
It was like the Wild Wild West. Yeah.
And they found a DMX quote which had the N-word in it, and that's it. They retweeted it. It went nuts. I got suspended without pay for 2 weeks, I believe. Yeah,
it's good they had your back. That station.
Yeah, it was brutal. It was brutal. And all those death threats, of course, I probably still have some in here, but it's just, they'll tell you, they're you should kill yourself and all this other stuff. It's pretty fun. It was pretty fun.
Awesome.
Time.
Great.
So when I see you tweet something like that, Bill, I'm like, you have no idea what you're doing right now.
Holy shit.
I know. I'm riding that line a lot.
Yeah, see, a lot of that stuff I would expect to bother me, so I'm not going to... I was thinking so much more tame. Okay.
Well, they attacked like my fiance at the time. They find your Instagram. They find everything. It's crazy. It's like a hornet's nest. It really is.
Well, the worst thing is these corporations and stuff just cave and cater to these people. So where are they learning that they could be stalking weirdos?
I don't think a single account was even in this country, and they still. Yeah, so they brought in the top HR person from the company, a black woman, which of course, of course that I'm in that situation.
How's that going to go?
Too bad it wasn't
ironic,
DMX.
right? Whatever.
Right.
Never didn't know this woman existed. I worked there over 10 years. And I had to have a Zoom call with her and explain to her that I know that I shouldn't write stuff like that on the internet now 10 years later.
So you're saying
it was so humiliating. Yeah.
So you were saying you couldn't even be bothered to notice a black woman working in your company. Is that what you were saying before?
Yeah. You'd met her
for
hundreds
10
of
years.
times, but never knew she was in the room.
Mm-mm. She wasn't in the room. She was
She still
corporate. She was
wasn't,
way up the ladder, so far past anybody I've ever met. But it was dumb. And 2 weeks no pay. So
wow.
And now that company's filed bankruptcy. So
they were just trying to find a way not to pay you to save some money. They're like, suspend them 2 weeks, no pay, and we'll pocket it.
I got that bankruptcy notice, I guess, because as a former employee, or I don't know why I got the notice, but the Chapter 11 came in the mail, and I was like,
yeah. You should frame that shit, put it on the wall.
Oh, I have the email from when I got fired hanging on the wall right here.
So. I just saw that when I was there last weekend. It looks like Steve Buscemi in Billy Madison with his list of people he wants to kill. I was like, I might need to call somebody. Scary.
You slap it like Notre Dame coming out of the fucking locker room. I like that. Good bulletin board material. I like that shit. Motivate yourself.
That's what they call it. Yeah, I've never been motivated by that stuff. So I
look, I got plenty of hate naturally. I don't need that shit. Wow.
There you go.
So that was the name of the company, huh?
It's right on the bulletin board. And look at time she sent it, Bill. It's an inside joke.
Oh, wow. Wow. I'll tell you what, there's a lot of love and respect in the way she announced you're no longer there for all your hard work you've put in. So
very professional signature too.
Another lesson. Don't ever give a piece of your soul to a fucking corporate entity in your life.
Oh,
ever.
Do anything you can to work for yourself if you're that type of person, or just work for somewhere and do what you're supposed to do and nothing more.
Yeah,
I agree with you, Bill.
Yeah, go on Facebook, sell cosmetics. It looks like it's working for everybody.
It seems to be going great.
Anybody know a realtor, by the way? I haven't been able to find one. There's just like a shortage of them or something. I don't know.
Unbelievable. I can't get a realtor.
Start a podcast. There's none of those.
Go on Marketplace. That's a good place to search for this kind of stuff, right? Complete strangers with no qualifications. Corporations, first of all, there was no morality to what they did to you. It was all liability, right? They're like, we can't get sued.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care. They're like, he quoted a rapper. Look, shut the fuck. You're going to get us sued too. Talking about it. You're like, so there's no morality to it. Matter of fact, even, HR, was it an outsourced company or was it like in-house HR? It doesn't even matter.
No, we're a publicly traded company at the time, so it was all in-house. It was just, one HR person covers the entire region or maybe the entire company. It's so just compacted where one person's doing 10 jobs all the way up and down the ladder. So it was one of those things.
Because I was going to say they probably searched all the companies and they were like, find us one with somebody that's a minority, please. This will help in court. Like that's how much of pieces of shit they are. But anyway,
her name was HR Puffin Stuff, which was. I was like, that's a little too on the nose.
Don't make a weed reference, Bill. That's not nice. We're going to get sued.
But anyway, what you should invest in is watching the Super Bowl a couple weeks from the time this comes out. It's set with the 49ers and the Chiefs. It's a rematch of 54, I think it is?
Yes, Super Bowl 54.
Unbelievable.
Which, I'll be honest, I completely forgot about until they said it. I was like, wait, they played 4 years ago? And because that was the last one before COVID hit. It was February of 2020. So it was like right after that, the world just went haywire and then everybody forgot everything. And so that's why it's like almost a forgotten Super Bowl. Like I knew the Chiefs won in there somewhere, but I forgot who they beat.
I just assume anytime the Chiefs are playing in the Super Bowl, it is probably a rematch of some sort because they've been in it for, I don't get this. Do you get the sense that it's going to not be boring, but it's a little, I don't know. Maybe boring is the right word. I got the sense of like, okay, Chiefs again. Of course, you're watching greatness unfold and the best teams made and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. But it does there were better storylines within, getting to this point that I would rather watch for sure.
Oh, there was easily Detroit getting in would have been the greatest storyline you could imagine. You know what I mean? Like they would have finally lit Detroit on fire in celebration, as opposed to just as a pure fucking population control thing. But
they celebrate by building infrastructure.
Yeah.
They're like Chiefs fans Lions fans are pouring a foundation in a celebration.
What a weird.
The parade route is cement mixers and electric vans,
water filtration plant. It's amazing.
We're going to fix Flint, Michigan today. Yeah. Doing it. Clean water. Clean water. We're fucking doing it.
We hate the Browns and brown water. Let's go. Should have been before this happened. Anyway.
Go green, but not Green Bay.
Oh, shit, man. Yeah, no, Detroit would have been entertaining. And the internet in general is kind of like leaning anti-Chiefs, right?
Oh,
I saw a lot of shit that was like, dude, what the fuck? Not again. And a million memes of Mahomes being a baby, which we already know I've complained on every platform we have about. But the internet's coming around. They're like, dude, enough's enough here. Like, we would rather have, plus Lamar.
It's not just the internet.
Yeah. Well, I think Taylor's, go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead. You go.
Well, I was going to say, I don't think they're agreeing with me per se. I think Taylor Swift being on all the time fed the internet hatred towards this thing. They think it's cringe as shit that every time something happens, they got to go up fucking show Taylor Swift on the fucking screen, who has absolutely nothing to do with football at all, other than, of course, dating Kelsey. But that doesn't make her a football personality here. You know what I mean? So I just wanted to clarify that part there. I don't want to act like they were just agreeing with me as a whole, the internet. But anyway, sorry, Bill. Go ahead.
I'm going to disagree with you.
Oh,
I'm going to say Taylor Swift is a major part of football this season. I'm seeing endless things about young Swifties watching football with their dads. Dads are thrilled. They're getting into the game. There's no coincidence that once they came out dating, when she showed up at that game, Travis Kelce's jersey sales went up like 500%. Look, it's a business. You want to show, this is exactly like WWE, right? WrestleMania comes around. Who do you want on the show? You want celebrities, bigger names. Logan Paul is holding a title right now. And I will say he's a good wrestler, so I'm not going to really knock this, but they know, let's keep the belt on him until WrestleMania because he's got such a massive following, right?
Yeah. Smart.
Yeah. And WCW tried to do it way back in the day. They gave, what the hell was that guy's name from Scream? They gave him the world title to try to get some attention. Yeah, David Arquette was the world champion of WCW for a while. I mean, that's ridiculous, but at least Logan Paul is really good at what he does. But yeah,
Andy Kaufman. If you goes, and this goes back really far, actually. But what I will say to touch on, I've seen clips of Logan Paul. That dude is a fucking athlete. He's flying off ropes. I was like, holy shit, because I thought it was just complete scam. Right now, well, actually, that's the complete wrong word. I thought it was all just publicity because he has 8 trillion followers. Again, super smart. Even if he couldn't wrestle one lick, super smart. But then I was like, holy shit, now, and he can actually wrestle.
He's
pretty
good.
Sick. Yeah.
He just renewed his contract, right?
He actually, from what I read, he signed a contract to be a full-time performer. Like, he's no longer an attraction that shows up. He's going to be on the show every week now. Like, this is what he does for a living.
Yeah, good for that dude. He started out with a fucking phone doing vlogs on, like, I don't even know if it was Vine. It might have been just Vine. YouTube, but was it Vine? Yeah, he's like, dude, clips on Vine. Like, and now, and the same thing with the brother. They called him a joke in boxing, and then he just started knocking everybody the fuck out. They're like, oh, well, no, this time he's going to lose. He knocks that dude out. Oh, and this time it's an MMA guy. He'll kill him, knocks him out. You know, I'm like, they're serious, the Paul brothers. But
when it comes to the Chiefs, though, it is probably a case of knocking down the person on top. They do have if you look at it unemotionally, they have everything, right? They have the elite quarterback, they have the fan base, the coach, they have the celebrity girlfriend in the suite. I mean, they have everything you would want in a product, in a team, and as a fan, you want to see all this happening in your city. So if you're anyone else, of course, it's a little bit of jealousy in there, right?
Probably a lot now that you mention it. Yeah, 100%. I already heard people saying that Andy Reid, they're like, if he wins it this year, he's retiring. And I'm like, no, you want him to retire. There's a difference. There was no report of him saying this. What are you, out of your fucking mind? But yeah,
they did it last year too. They said it last year. They're like, if he wins, he's probably going to like walk off into the sunset. And why? Why would he ever stop?
Why?
He reminds me of what's that Dr. Seuss character?
Wilford Brimley. Oh.
The only show on the planet that doesn't have that soundbite. But
you're talking the Lorax?
Yes, it reminds me of the Lorax. I'm sure that's been said, but that mustache, man.
I have no idea where I just pulled that out of.
I was going to say, holy shit, I feel like an outsider here. Am I the only?
My brain will shut off. I'll forget my dog's name. I'll be like, what? What the hell's this guy's name again? And then I could just say Lorax, something I've never watched or been interested in.
Yeah, it's weird,
stupid.
Right?
What a pull.
But yeah, they have everything. They're like a Hollywood movie type of team. They have it all. And, everybody wants to see people like that fail because everyone's miserable. So
yeah,
good point.
Fucking great point. Not even.
I'll tell you,
fucking great.
I'll tell you from my standpoint, I don't give a shit about Taylor Swift. They could show her every time Kelsey farts. I don't care. It's for 4 seconds on the fucking screen. But I get why people are annoyed. I'm sick of just looking at their faces. It's like I'm watching all these games with them. They go to commercial. I'm watching them through the entire commercial break. They're peddling everything. How are they the spokesperson for everything? Like, let's calm down a little bit. You don't have to be the spokesperson for Roy Rogers, okay? Relax.
I do find it. I do get like a weird feeling when I see, and this didn't happen obviously in this setup, but you ever watch a game where the losing team's player is on the commercial after the loss, like if Patrick Mahomes lost and it goes to like a State Farm commercial, and I'm like, wow, this guy's a loser right now, at least for 24 hours, and you're having him endorse your product. I'm always like, what a miss or whatever. But what the hell do I know about big business?
Well, it's too late to take him down now. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's the commercial version of the losing team's T-shirts being sent to third world countries. You know what I'm saying? They had to pre-print these things so whoever won was going to have. It's like, how did they get these on the field after the Super Bowl? That's amazing. They have a printing press there.
And being in the video editing world, it's funny to see like the second commercial after the clock hits 0 and you see them advertise for the NFC or AFC championship hats.
Right.
And I'm like, somebody in a studio somewhere worked on the other team for nothing. I mean, probably got paid, but all that work is just for nothing.
Yeah. That was mentioned in a documentary one time, and they had like all these guys in this third world country running around with like all the wrong teams getting shirts on. I was like, don't put it on TV.
How about when, what was it? Time Magazine printed all those like Madam President with Hillary Clinton on it in the 2016 election and sent them out. They were on the newsstands. They had to recall them all.
I have, and this happened New Year's Eve, I think, a few years back.
Yeah.
I have the People magazine, Betty Turns 100 cover that was printed a couple of days before her 100th birthday. I have like 10 of them downstairs in like 3-layer cases in case they're ever worth anything one day.
Yeah, I'm sure they will be, Chris.
That's your That's your IRA. That's your retirement plan. First of all, I can't knock it. I'd have them in like bulletproof lucite. I'd be telling my kid, like, dude, this is your college right here.
Are you looking up what they're worth right now, Chris?
No, they're not worth anything yet.
They won't.
I mean, she died.
Yeah, they might. Look at Pokemon cards. Nobody saw that coming.
They didn't.
If you had it signed by her, then I might really be out. You might be onto something.
I met her. She held my hand or my arm walking
really?
down. Yeah, she got interviewed at PLJ when I worked there, and I had to go get her from the elevator.
You killed her. All right.
Would
it be funny if the cover said "Funny never dies" instead of says "gets old"?
Oh. If the headline was "Funny won't die" before this gets printed, put on newsstands.
This in no way will be awkward.
Yeah, there's no way this can backfire. It's like weird that you put that on there.
Chris Coney is going to buy 10 issues of this for no reason. That's a weird tagline.
How the hell did they get that on there?
Suspiciously specific. This is going to be worth something when Chris Kanye's 100. I was reaching there, but I went for it. Hello. Oh,
yeah, and then on the other side, you have the 49ers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which I don't know much about their story as a casual football fan, but all I hear is Brock Purdy's underrated the last few days or last 48 hours, I guess.
They shit on him. Last 49 hours, let's say.
The 49ers and Brock Purdy are such a fucking fascinating, like, exercise in like sports psychology, especially the psychology of like fandom and the media. Like the guy, he was Mr. Irrelevant. He was the last pick in the draft. So they're just going to cut. There's just no way anybody's going to give him credit. When, if you think about it, he should get more credit.
Yes, of course.
Right? He should get more credit for the fact that he's performing at such a fucking high level. But people are just like, no, it's the system. It's the people around him. It's his coaching staff. By the way, I hate to tell you, but you just described every fucking quarterback in the NFL. If you're in the wrong system, you're done.
How about this? How about, I'll give you two names. Jimmy G and Trey Lance.
Yes.
Guess where they are? Gone. They couldn't play in this system.
Thank you.
They
same
suck.
personnel, same coaches.
Yeah, same everything.
Yeah, but nobody brings that up. I mean,
The Niners traded their everything for Trey Lance. He's on the Cowboys now.
Oof, God. I will take the Cowboys. Oh, sorry. Choked up a little. Which, by the way, side note, like 3 days later after that horrible loss, I have a picture of it in my phone too. On the TV at work, it said the underline of the story they were doing on ESPN does Dallas have a Super Bowl winning caliber roster next year? I was like, dude, are you people fucking out of your minds? But anyway, fucking Purdy, all the highlights from yesterday of Purdy running for his life, saving the team on third down, getting the first down, putting his head down, getting this. He throws into windows. And I mean, if you get into the analytics, he led the league in like all kinds of quarterback statistics. And they're still like, yeah, but he's got Kittle. Like, what? Fucking what? Are you crazy?
We didn't say that when Mahomes had Kelsey, Cheetah, all the,
Andy Reid, one of the most brilliant offensive minds who ever lived. I mean, this guy.
Look, I'm pulling for Purdy just because it's the name of the brushes I use when I do painting. So
great brushes.
Great brushes.
I worked with a guy once who like basically made love to the thing, to the brush when he was cleaning it. He was just explaining how wonderful the brush is and how well he takes care of it. It's like this.
Well, you have to. This
is my Purdy brush. I take care of my Purdy brush. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? Can you just give me my $12 an hour and get me out of here?
Yeah, can you pay up front? He has a stroke every time
fucking the brush.
Well, he was just holding his cock. Did I mention that part or no?
Imagine trying to fuck a brush and the bristle goes right into your dick hole.
Oh,
fuck.
Oh, sorry. Is that too much for a morning? Is that too much?
If anybody doesn't know, this is very early in the morning. No.
You'll notice I'm not too shocked about it because I've done it. So.
Oh my God.
God, I'm gonna guess this guy doesn't watch Bob Ross when he beats the brush against the fucking leg of the easel. It's like,
do the impression. How do you do that? I can't even do that.
It's so fast.
Yeah.
And this guy's like, no, it's a party. Oh God.
He calls in a domestic disturbance call to the police. Like, what's happening? He's like, he's beating his brush.
Yeah. Like, we asked you nicely to stop calling. There's real problems in this town. We can't have this line tied up.
By the way, this is Home Depot. So what do you want us to do about
it? We're not sure how to handle this.
He's like, I need that brush. I'm edging today. Like, sir,
right now,
this is a public indecency.
I need that brush. I'm doing a lot of strokes. We're getting right into my wheelhouse here with paint puns.
Yeah, I was going to say, keep going, baby. I'm getting hard.
So there's some speculation, of course, on the comeback of the Chiefs. I know we're bouncing from Chiefs to Niners, but that'll be the conversation for the next few episodes,
Sure.
obviously. I know Bill had this tweet on his feed, on his X account. And who is this, Bill? Mike Greenberg.
Oh, yeah. This pissed me off last night. So the thing about ESPN personalities is they can't say anything reasonable, right? There has to be a line in the sand all the time. So for anyone listening, I'll read up to the point that I think is fine. Mike Greenberg, I want to say also humongous Jets fan, right?
Yeah.
He says, this is the greatest run of Patrick Mahomes' career. His team was the most vulnerable it's ever been. He had to face Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson on the road, and he's back in the Super Bowl. Fair. I'm totally fine with this. This is his next sentence. He's the best quarterback ever, and he's 28 years old. Dude, first of all, Mahomes throws a touchdown on the first drive of the game, right? First Chiefs drive, I believe.
Yeah.
He did nothing the rest of the game. Nothing.
down.
Chiefs scored 0 points in the second half. If it wasn't for his defense, they would have been in fucking trouble yesterday. The defense won that game.
They kicked a field goal at the end of the second. That's what you're saying, though. But he didn't do it,
Right,
obviously.
Right. There was no like touchdown there.
Right.
And also he just won the AFC Championship game. He's going to the Super Bowl. In 2 weeks, he could lose the Super Bowl, and this tweet looks fucking stupid. It looks stupid now to me, but in 2 weeks, it could look even worse.
Which is incredible because it's pretty bad.
Yeah, I've always had a problem with the argument of someone who sucks, someone who's the best, someone who's the worst. Because maybe I take it too literally, but isn't that not up for debate? Like, say it's his favorite and stuff like that, but best would mean, okay, how many of this, how many of that? What, I guess there's different layers of what people feel is the best. This is like the MJ LeBron thing and championships and stuff like that. But the best is the best. It's whoever's on top statistically.
This is the problem with ESPN that I can't stand is they've made this a thing where now you've put people in a position where they've got to tell you the negatives of Patrick Mahomes versus Brady. And I don't think that's fair. The guy's great. He is. Oh, yeah. But now, like in my brain, I have to say, how about the rules just favor quarterbacks now? Right. Yeah. So now I have to try to discredit this guy because you said this stupid shit. The rules were for Brady towards the end of his career, but the beginning of the career, he didn't have these crazy rules that helped out quarterbacks where you can't even sneeze on them. Jay Alford on the Giants in the first Super Bowl 42, when they played him, comes up the middle on the last drive and fucking plants him like a tree into the ground, which would have been a 15-yarder today, no doubt. He picked them up, crushed them. I mean, I'm surprised he even stood up after that.
Wasn't there another play against Buffalo I just saw circulating where he runs off to the right and his helmet, he gets like a crossbody, like a WWE move, and his helmet flies off and he just kind of gets up, shakes it off, and it's a grainy, before high def or whatever. But there's tons of those for Brady.
Oh yeah, he used to get destroyed.
Mahomes got clotheslined yesterday, and they threw the 15-yarder, but back in the day they probably wouldn't have been called.
If things like that happen to Mahomes, they actually give him points now. That's how bad it's getting. Okay, and how did Brady get into the first game he played? I can't remember. Oh wait, Drew Bledsoe got hit so fucking hard by Mo Lewis it collapsed his lung. They had to rush him to a hospital. Surprise, surprise. They didn't bring him to the locker room. They brought him to an emergency room and he almost died. Okay. And by the way, at that time, Drew Bledsoe was hot shit for quarterbacks. So it wasn't like Brady was on the cusp of breaking through here. But
Mo Lewis hit him so fucking hard, he created a Patriots dynasty. That's how hard he hit him.
Yeah. That's like, and isn't it amazing that in the last thing the Jets want to do is what they did. Make your team in your division dominate you for the next fucking 20 years. But the ESPN, there's so many. It's not like ESPN doesn't dominate the news cycle anymore. Now you have other channels, but not only other channels, but you have the internet where everybody has a voice, right? So to stick out, they have to say stupid shit, right? Like I would not. I mean, I'm sure the paycheck's nice, and I don't want to say I would or wouldn't do anything, but to be at a meeting and they're like, look, Greenberg, we're going to need you to say something really stupid today. It's your turn. Stephen A's been up for fucking the last 6 years. Can you say something this time? You know? And like, I'd be like, I guess. Like, it would feel wrong until I got to the bank. Then it feels fine.
I've been there.
Seven
Very
figures.
much a much smaller schedule or scale, I should say. But I've been there where they're like, why don't you just wear the funny hat or say the funny thing or read the funny commercial? Because it's just easier. And we're going to keep asking you to do it until you do it. And I'm like, okay, whatever. I guess.
Also,
you know,
how's that going for the company, Chris? You want to remind everyone?
bankrupt.
Yep.
Bankrupt.
They're doing great.
Which, you know, ESPN isn't doing what they used to, but multiple factors. But anyway, Mahomes has the best defense he's ever had. Not only the best defense he's ever had, one of the best defenses in the league, because that's two separate things. You know, you could always have a terrible defense and then something mediocre would be the best you had. He's got a great defense. They've given up one 100-yard rusher all year, and it wasn't even a running back. It was Lamar fucking Jackson. Okay. That team is destroying people all fucking year. That they get. How about the fact that maybe they deserve a little credit, but nobody's even mentioning them? Everybody's, oh, he's the best, everything. Oh, my God, Mahomes, da-da-da. You just laid it out for us, Bill. He didn't do anything. He threw one touchdown in the beginning, and then they got shut down. Matter of fact, he was playing the MVP of the league. Who was the MVP this year? Oh, Lamar. He wasn't even the best quarterback in the league this year. Never mind of all time. Fuck this run. This run's all defense, and on top of that, I mean, maybe Taylor Swift's the best quarterback of all time.
Is there something to be said about a quarterback? Let me just ask this as a casual sports fan. Is there something to be said about a quarterback simply not messing up that makes them great too?
Of course.
Like Jared Goff, the short throws that are way short, or Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson throwing into triple coverage. Like all that stuff is, you know, it's negative. It's not even just keeping it even keel.
Yeah, no, a game manager.
Because Patrick Mahomes doesn't do a lot of that. I mean, he doesn't do a lot of that. I texted Bill before the game yesterday. I'm like, first of all, we got a problem with Mo. Second of all, just kidding. I just know Mo gets paranoid when I say I texted Bill on the side.
Did you see his face? He's like,
I'm like,
what?
No,
I'm grabbing my phone right now.
I can't wait for the first time Patrick Mahomes gets sacked, and I want to hear Baltimore's reaction. And then, like 5 minutes into the game, I'm like, "What the fuck am I saying? He's not going to get sacked," and he barely did.
Yeah,
Mahomes.
So Mahomes. Yeah,
First sack in 4 playoff games. They said.
Yeah, I don't know what I was saying, but my point is not messing up is also there's something to be said about that, right? So he doesn't mess up a lot.
Trent Dilfer won a quarterback, won a Super Bowl.
That's where I was just going. Yeah,
Brad Johnson
and again,
with the Ravens with that defense, and you know they beat the Giants. Just don't fuck up, please.
Yeah,
defense wins championships. I remember that from one of the early Maddens that I used to play.
They always do.
Oh yeah, well that's 100% sure for real.
But I think it was the Ravens in that clip.
That's not what they did to the Giants. I don't even want to relive that. And Dilfer hurt too.
You know, in the beginning of Madden where they show the one clip before the title screen comes up. Yeah, it was defense wins championships. It must have been, I don't know, Madden 05 or something.
I got a funny story about that. So yesterday we're watching the game and my wife goes, have the Ravens ever won a Super Bowl? Oh. I go, yeah, they beat the Giants. And I don't know why you'd bring that up right now. She goes, well, you've never told me that. I go, why would I talk about that? She goes, you told me everything about the Giants. You left out the Super Bowl they lost. I'm like, I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to talk about that.
I'm retroactively leaving it out right now of this conversation somehow.
They showed Ray Lewis yesterday, and I was gritting my teeth. Like this fucking murderer fuck.
He was on the Manning cast a couple games ago. Oh, no, it was actually, I'm sorry. I think it was the Houston game. They had the Manning cast somehow. No, maybe it was during the regular season. But my point is, I was like throwing up in my mouth the second he got on the screen because I was like, oh, my God. This guy destroyed my hopes and dreams that year so bad.
Should we give our initial predictions over on Patreon, Chris?
Yeah, we are wrapping up. So patreon.com/The Gill Lane Show. We have a follow-up this week from my wife's birthday gift. I was trying to obtain last week on Patreon. We also are going to follow up on a documentary that we recommended to Mo.
Right.
I watched every second of it.
The highly, highly controversial Taylor Swift AI pics that circulated on Twitter.
Oh.
We have them. I saved them so we could see them. Don't know if we're going to show them to you, but we'll show you some, not all of them. And boy, oh boy, is the legacy of Vince McMahon crumbling as we speak. So lots going on Patreon. Patreon.com/The Gill Lane Show. Anything else, Mo?
You know what? Just go right for it.
Yeah, let's do it. 143. Let's get out of here. Right to Patreon.
Just right to it.